What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod, and I'm coming at you today with a video to talk about a card that has been capturing the imagination of duelists ever since it was first released. It was one that I originally knew as Reversal of Worlds, but you guys may know better as Exchange of the Spirit. Now, since the announcement of this card's reprint in Return of the Bling, many duelists have been asking me why it was originally placed on the forbidden list. Not too many of today's duelists understand the impact that the card had upon its release. So I thought what I would do was make a video talking about the history of the card and what decks it could possibly be placed in the future. So Exchange of the Spirit was first released on November 5th, 2005 as the sneak peek participation card for the set Elemental Energy. Now this was the only version of the card available for duelists to use for about 3 years until it was once again released in Retro Pack 1 on July 8th of 2008. It was then re-released later that same year on November 21st, 2008 in the set Dark Legends. It would then be another 7 years until the card got another reprint in the Premium Gold set Return of the Bling. Now some people may be wondering why the long gaps between reprints of this card, and really there was just not a huge demand for it. Almost upon its release here in the TCG, it was quickly placed on the following forbidden/limited list. With the card being banned for so long, no one was really looking to play it. One of the main reasons it was placed on the forbidden list so fast was because it was part of an FTK at the time. Duelists would use another card that is currently placed on the forbidden list, Machiavelli the Destructor, to actually complete this FTK, using any and every kind of mill cards they could to get at least 15 of their cards into the graveyard, including Machiavelli the Destructor, which then would allow them to play Exchange of Spirit from their hand on their first turn. This, of course, would allow both players to switch their decks with their graveyard, and since your opponent hasn't yet played any kind of card, there was 0 cards in their graveyard, meaning now there would be 0 cards left in their deck. All you would have to do then is end your turn. Your opponent would go to actually try and draw for their first turn, but they couldn't because there's no cards left in their deck, and they would lose that duel. This of course led to both cards being placed on the forbidden list until the new errata for Exchange of the Spirit. Now some people may also be unaware, but Exchange of the Spirit has actually had 3 erratas during the course of its lifetime in Yu-Gi-Oh! The first 2 erratas really didn't do that much to the card, or at least not change its effect so much. It just kind of reworded it so it would make more sense to players when they were using it. Now the original effect of the card stated you can only activate this card by paying 1,000 life points while there are at least 15 or more cards in your graveyard. Both players swap cards in their graveyard with the cards in their deck, then shuffle the cards in each new deck and put the decks in the deck zone. The new effect states that if both players have 15 or more cards in their graveyards, you can pay 1,000 life points, each player swap cards in their deck with the cards in their graveyard, then shuffle the deck. You can only activate 1 Exchange of Spirit per duel. Now there are 2 really big changes on this card's effect. The first one of course being that both players must have 15 cards in their graveyard in order to activate it. This immediately cuts out that FTK that people were able to do way back in the day. The other big change to the effect is that you can only activate 1 Exchange of Spirit per duel. So with Exchange of Spirit finally returned to us, what decks is this actually viable in? The main one that I've heard players talking about is Light Swarms. Now although that is kind of an interesting tech choice for that archetype, I am not personally sold on that idea. So down in the comment section below, let me know what decks you think Exchange of the Spirit might be a valid choice to place in and why. And I guess that's it for now. This is GalacticGod, out.